Today's roulette strategy is called Mello Jello, and it's presented to us by Niha. It's two roulette strategies built into one, basically a ladder progression. We're going to do the first strategy, win, hopefully, then move on to the second strategy, win again, reset. That's the way that it's supposed to go. Obviously, we have some progressions for when things go wrong. Quite interesting the way that the progressions are set up. So you have to stay with me so that we can show both of them. Obviously, if we lose on step one, if we lose on step two, it's a little bit different, but I will show you how that works exactly. So we have $1,000. We're going to play for 37 spins. I'm going to get the bet on first, then I'll save it just for pure ease, and then I'll talk you through what we're about to do. So the first bet is $10 on 5 double streets. I am just going to do like this. 5 of these. Let me just save the bet. What's it called? Mello Jello. We'll just call it Mello Jello base. So that's the base bet. Just zoom in there for you. So I've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 34, 35, 36 missing. Just set it up that way. In fact, Niha didn't tell me the way to do the 5 double streets. We got that one. Thought that was going to 0. So we've just made $10 profit. Now we're going to move on to step 2, which is dozens. Let me just get the bet on and I'll tell you what it is. 15, 15, 15, 15. So it is a $60 bet. Just zoom in there for you. So we just returned those $60. And we have $15 on our 2 dozens and 2 columns. She asked me to follow the winner. I'm not entirely sure if I did follow the winner. It was a bit rushed. Follow the winner in dozens and columns. We've just been completely whacked. Okay. So that's obviously very unlucky. So we have a plan for when we get completely whacked, when we win, and when we lose a little bit. So on a complete whack, we're going back down to step 1, and we're adding a unit. Okay? Where's it gone? I keep on clicking the wrong button. Sorry, guys. So we're $50 down. We now have $100 on the table. So we took that $60 profit that we made first time, moved it over to the second step, got completely whacked. We're going back to first step, but adding a unit. We need to win this twice before we move on. So there's 1. And we're going to repeat the bet. And Niha has said win 2 at this level, then move on to the next stage. Now, you guys can probably see already, if we win 2 at this level, so it's a $20 profit, we are not going to be back to where we were. We were $10 in profit. We are actually going to be $10 down. So we are going to go backwards a little bit with just this setup. We're going to need to win step 2 to make some profit. We're going to need to win this one first. Okay, 15, right. So we're going on to step 2. I know we're not back at session profit, but these are the rules that I was given. So quickly put on $15, $15, $15, $15. I think I followed the winner there. So we're in top column, bottom column, and obviously middle dozen, first dozen, which is what I've tried to do there. So if we lose this, we go back down to a $100 bet on our step 1. We could hit a partial loss, which I'll explain what we do in a minute, but hopefully we hit all of them and we reset. Okay, we've hit a partial loss. That was a $60 bet, and it only returned 45. So we are going back down to step 1, but we're adding $5 to each of these. Okay, that spin, we lost $15. So we're adding $5 to all of these 6 lines. It's now a $75 bet. So there's obviously 3 outcomes when you're on that second step. Win, so you hit a column and a dozen, great. Partial loss, so you only hit 1 dozen or 1 column, or get completely wiped out. So we have different strategies for what happens. I'll explain them all again in a moment. So we win 1, at this level. That's stage 1. We're going to try again with that stage 2. 15, 15, 15, 15. I am following the winner. Trying to, anyway. Anyway, probabilities are the same. I'm trying to follow the winner, but I'm trying to also succinctly explain the progressions here because there are a few different outcomes. I have a feeling that people will look at this and go, not entirely sure what you're talking about, Greg. So forgive me if you understand it. I am going to repeat it a couple of times because it might be not that obvious. Right, we have hit both of them there. That's a $60 bet. It returns $90. We're in the profit. We go back to step 1. Base bet step 1. So, to summarize, ideally, you win this bet, you take that $60, you do the 15, 15, 15, 15, you win, you go again. That's the ideal situation. Now, if we lose this 5 double street, we add a unit, so we'll have $20 on the 5 double streets. Win twice, then we'll go on to that 15, 15, 15, 15. It's always, step 2 is always 15, 15, 15, 15, which we're going to do now. So when you lose on your progression, it's your step 1, that 5 double streets that you're going to increase. And both situations are played out. So you either add a unit if it's a full whack, or you add $5 if it's a partial loss, or you just completely reset if it's a complete win. So like I said, there's only 3 outcomes. That's a complete win. We're happy with that. $60 returns $90. Go back to base bet. So we're swapping between 5 double streets, complete that, move on to 2 dozens and 2 columns at the same time. Don't want to get too out of hand with the losing on the 5 double streets. So apparently when we lose, we only add a unit. We're not doubling, we're not tripling. So we could fall behind if we lose a couple in a row. That's return $60. All of that $60 is going on the table. And just have a look at these last numbers. We're in middle column, top column, last dozen, middle dozen, which is what I've done. At this, I will probably make a mistake there at some point. Just obviously trying to explain the strategy whilst putting the bets on. But I think I've explained that. It sounds complicated, but it's not that complicated when you've played it a couple of times. That's a win. Both of them hit. We hit our dozens, we hit our columns, and we're going to reset to our base bet. So if that had been a complete whack, this would now be a $100 bet. If it would have been a small loss, this would now be a $75 bet. Because we won, we're at a $50 bet. Mello Jello. Not sure how mellow it is. I like the name though, Mello Jello. For the time being, $100 profit, 11 spins. We seem to be doing okay. We've not really got into any trouble just yet. There's still a long way to go. There we go. We've lost our 5 double streets. Just as I opened my big mouth. So now we're going to add a unit. Repeat. You could obviously double. It's the same thing, but just to show you that it's not a double strategy, I've just added a unit. Luckily, if we just go into these numbers, we were on step 2, weren't we? Because that would have been a loser on our 5 double streets. So we would definitely be falling behind. But fortunately, we weren't playing that 5 double street strategy when that 35 came in. I need to win 2 of these before we move on. There's one. And we repeat the bet. So we are going to fall behind a little bit before we move on to step 2. We were at $100. If we win this, we'll be at $90. But we, like I said at the start, or I hope I said at the start, step 2 is always 15, 15, 15, 15. Even though this bet is bigger, even though this is going to return 120, you don't do 30, 30, 30, 30. You stick at 15, 15, 15, 15. Four 15s, which we will do now. So do 15, 15, 15, and 15. So if this loses, which I think is great, we don't go back to 100 and add a unit to 150. We go to 100 because we've already sort of recouped in that 5 double streets. Because I don't want my bets to get too big. Okay, we've hit that. Very nice. We're $120 in profit. Back to step 1. Mello Jello base bet. Again, luckily, that's a loser on this bet, but we weren't on that bet. So we're timing those right. Graph looks quite nice, to be honest. We didn't get into profit until, well, our first spin was profitable, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was only after 7 spins we got into profit, which I was a little bit nervous about. Obviously, this is a tournament. You need to make some money pretty fast. But it's done its job since then. Let's go again. So we won step 1. And we're going 15, 15, 15. Niha said in her submission that she's friends with Naveen, who I think, I've not got it in front of me, but I think Naveen is number 2. He might be number 3 on the strategy, sorry, in the tournament at the moment. So maybe Niha and Naveen will go head to head at some point in the tournament if this continues as it is. Okay, so that was a partial loss. $60 bet returns 45. So now we're going back to step 1, but we're adding those $5 each. Okay? Interesting to see how this recovers. So 130. Ah, there you go. So that makes sense, doesn't it? We're going to make $15 profit on this spin if it wins. And we'll go straight back to session profit. So Nia has obviously thought about that. We need to win this first, which we didn't. Oh! Right, so we are probably going to go backwards a bit. So now I need to repeat the bet and add a unit. That's why I've got this base bet saved. So we need to win 2 of these. Yeah, so it would have worked if we won. We'd be back at that 130 and we go again with step 2. But we lost. So we're adding $50. You really, really, really do not want to lose 2 in a row playing 5 double streets. What's that doing? That would have been outrageous if that went into 0, wouldn't it? People would be going mad. Right, repeat this. All right, so I've got a decision to make here because Nia has said if I'm on a $150 bet, I need to win 3 in a row. If I'm on a $100 bet, I need to win 2 in a row. But I'm actually on a $125 bet. So I don't know what to do. Do I win 2? Do I win 3? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to meet in the middle. I'm going to drop that down to a $100 bet. If this wins, of course. So Nia has said win 2 or win 3. What we'll do is get that to a $100 bet. So that was previously a $125 bet. Just to clarify, in Nia's instructions, if you're on a $100 bet, you win twice, then move on to step 2. If you're on a $150 bet, you win 3 times, and move to step 2. But I was in the middle. So I've brought it down to a $100 bet and hopefully win this before we move on to step 2. We got it. So now I'm going to move on to step 2. We're still a little bit behind. So I'm going to do 15, 15, 15, 15. So what I did then, I just reduced the risk slightly. Rather than a $100 bet, it was rather than a $125 bet, it was a $100 bet. But obviously, I missed out on $5 profit. So if I'd have stayed at that level, we'd be on 115. We'd still be lower than session profit. Again, that's a partial loss. $60 bet returns 45. So we are going to do what we did last time. Base bet, add 5 and 5 to all of those. So we're back at that $75 bet. So the outcomes have happened. There's 3 outcomes and all of them have happened in this session so far. Total wax, go back to step 1, add a base bet. Partial loss, go back to step 1, add $5 each. Win, reset completely. And I know I have said that a couple of times in this video. I just feel like it's one of those that needs repeating a little bit because it might get a bit confusing. Okay, we've won that, and we're going to go on to step 2. So we're going to go 15, 15, 33 is there. So it's 30, so we're going to have to go 4 here. So there's what we were saying before. We were on 110. We had that partial loss. We made the progression, and now we're back to 110. So quite like that. Completely recovered that partial loss the very next spin. And now we've hit a full win, $60 bet, returns $90, and we're back at session profit, I believe. Yeah, we are. And we're on base bet. We are 24 spins in, and we're $140 in profit. So this is on track. Nothing crazy happens. This is on track to get into the top 8. Like 36 landed. That would have been a 5 double street loser, but we weren't on the 5 double streets. We're quite lucky with switching over at the right time here. Okay, step 2. 15, 15. Let's have a look at those numbers for you. Middle dozen, last dozen, bottom column, top column. That's where I am. Yeah, so I know a few people love 5 double streets. I know Brent from All on Black, that's his go-to. I don't mind it. I just think it's dangerous to play it all day. So with this strategy, you're in the 5 double streets, then you're out the 5 double streets. Oh, we've hit a good one. Couldn't work out if we won that or not, but we won both of them. Let's just get that base bet back on. Yeah, so you're not playing 5 double streets all day with this strategy, are you? You're in it, you're out of it. If you can get lucky like we are, just go to these numbers. That's obviously going to be a loser for us, but we weren't playing it. That was a loser for us. I'm not sure if we were playing it that time. There's definitely been occasions where we would have lost, but we weren't on that bet, which is great. Okay, we're on step 2. Quite a lot of middle dozens recently. Middle dozen, middle dozen, middle. Well, 3 in a row. Last dozen was 3 in a row. Anyway, we've had a new dealer since that last dozen. Okay, partial loss. Not a problem. Lost $15. Hopefully, we're going to get it back this next spin. So go back to step one and add our $5 each. I think that's a very smart move. I think that's obviously nicely calculated. And do you know what I like as well about this? Is step one is your recovery. And you don't take all of those winnings over to step two. What a lot of ladder systems do. So we've won that, we've recovered. I'll finish my sentence in a minute. Just let me get this bet on. 15. That's another middle dozen, isn't it? What I was trying to say is what a lot of ladder systems do is they have the progression in step one and they take all those winnings to step two and take all those winnings to step three. And it just gets very frustrating that you can never fully recover because you're always asking for that next bet, that next bet. This one is not the case. That's another partial loss, though. Unfortunately for us, we'd have lost that 5 double streets. We're not playing that bet. Right. We do our recovery on the 5 double streets. Yeah, so what some people, when they're building roulette strategies, would do here is they'd go, this returns $90 and somehow get $90 onto stage two. This goes, no, you don't need to do that. Stage two, we're always doing $15 bets, or for a total bet of $60. Okay, that's our recovery done. We'll try again with the step two. So look at those numbers for you. I got 21, 3, and 24 are all in that top column. So I've gone for 20, which is in the middle column. Be nice to hit this. We haven't hit a winner on this step two for a while. We have that time. Right, we're into the top 8. Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong thing. I didn't let you see the ball land base bet. I was on the wrong scene. You couldn't see the ball land, but that was number 12, and we won. Sorry about that. Here's our stats. 220. 32 spins in. Let's go again. 15, 15. And we're back at that $60 bet. Step two, always $60. Step one is where you get your money back. And to be honest, Niha's even implemented something where you don't get all of your money back, which is fine. You're not far off. Like, you don't need to get too aggressive. That's a partial loss. We're going to try and recover it with this next one. The past two strategies have been in the top 8 and then lost the last couple of spins and been knocked out of the top 8. I wonder if Mello Jello is going to have the same outcome. Okay, that's recovered to 230. We're going to go 15 here, 15 here, and there. So 2 spins left. I'm trying to calculate this. If this wins, we'll be at $260 profit. And even if it loses the next spin, it will still be in the top 8. So This could be a safety for it if it wins this. Partial loss. Oh no. Partial loss. Right, last spin to see if it can recover. Repeat the bet. Add $5 here. We are on $215 profit, which is enough to stay in the top 8. We have one more spin, but we've got $75 on the table. If it wins this, it's in the top 8. If it loses this, it's not in the top 8. It's literally happened the past 2 spins, so third time lucky. Past 2 strategies is what I meant to say. It's in between 2 losers. It just managed to get it. So Niha, you are in the top 8. Congratulations. I quite like that strategy. I think that was well thought out. The Mello Jello. Of course, Niha, you will receive a third of those winnings. What did you think of that, guys? I'll see you in the next video.